Okay, we are going to be doing brownies today because I want to do brownies because they're so easy. Technically, just so you know, I figured out how to do the peanut brittle really good. I worked on it a couple times yesterday, and then yeah, it turned out really good. I love it. I'll make another video, but I didn't want to do like let's make peanut brittle twice in a row. Like that just seemed kind of lame. That would be like an April Fool's joke, but that's days ago. Anyways, you're gonna want 1 cup of butter. Take this out of the fridge before you even start getting your other ingredients because warm butter is going to make it easy. I got a KitchenAid, so I don't even have to think about manpower. But I don't know if you've ever tried mixing this kind of ingredients by hand, but it is a pain. So if you are going to even attempt it, make sure you've got, your butter warmed at least. Mine's not going to be that warm, just so you know. I'm just going to have to cut it up and let the machine do the work, even though something's wrong with my machine. Anyways, we'll get into it. 4 eggs. We'll do the eggs first since I don't have them in a container. I put them in the measuring what? Come on, man. It's literally just, it's a measuring cup. That's all it is. Anyways, I'm moving these out of my way so I can get to where I need to be. I didn't know how I wanted this set up, so as you can see, this is apparently how I wanted it, which is how most cooking shows do it. I guess I should copy people and it'll work out better. So 4 eggs. Actually, I shouldn't go that slow. I'll put it up on screen. How about that? Hey, where is it? Where? Ooh, oh. Anyways, let's see. So 4 eggs, get these out of our way. Oh, I forgot a piece. Pick up the paper towel just to kind of wipe it down a little bit. Technically it's still gross, but I just don't want the egg there. Doesn't really bother me if it's a little sticky in that area. Whoops. All right, and then it's going to be 1 cup of flour. What, did the piece break? Nah, it's over here. Why would the piece break? That would make no sense. How would somebody even end up breaking the little plastic handle? 1/2 cup, and then, just so you know, this is what this measuring thing is. We're doing a whole cup. It's just, this is a 1/2 cup. So that is 1 whole cup. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. So there's that. The most amount we're going to use is 2 cups of sugar. And this I just like pouring in there. I'm actually going to do 3/4 cup sugar because I like things bitter. It's amazing what cavities will do to your, taste preferences. Okay. That's probably pretty good, right? We'll go a little more just for the people who want really sugary brownies. It's not even like it's that sugary, but okay. I should probably mix this just so you know, so it doesn't go everywhere, which I guess I will. There we go. That's nice. I wonder at what point I should put the butter in. Let's see, and then we're gonna do a 1/2 tablespoon of vanilla. Technically it says 2 teaspoons, but guess what? A 1/2 tablespoon, I only have to do 1 measurement, and it ends up being like almost the exact same amount. Plus it's vanilla. Does anybody really care if you go too much vanilla? Alright, I actually don't know if we're going too much or too little, by the way, but I measured it once and I'm like, it's close enough, I don't care. It's going to be 2/3 cup cocoa. Again, I better have had it on the screen. Ugh, this is going to be a mess. Don't do it this way. Just do it like this. There we go. That's how I should have done it. It's still messy, but 1/3. And then 2/3. Technically, you probably want to pack it. I bet that's what a professional who actually cooks would tell you, but I'm not a professional who cooks. I just cook. Okay. Wow, are we actually almost done with the brownies? I mean, we've got a couple more things we need to do, but for the most part, we're actually breezing through it. That's why I like brownies, by the way. It's so fast so long as you know where the ingredients are and you've got your list of what to do. Okay. We're just going to chop these up. Just so you know, we're actually going to keep one of these little pads for, or it's not a pad, it's a wax paper. There we go. We're going to keep some of that wax paper for later. Essentially so we can wipe down the the pan, baking sheet. Ooh, you know what? This isn't super cold. Normally I have to work really hard to even do that. So, you know what? I'm so glad I pulled it out of the fridge before I started getting all the ingredients. I told you to do it. Hopefully you'll do it, or did it. I just like cutting it into little squares. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. It's just, guess what? Normally it's way colder than this. Normally it like takes forever to cut these. Normally, literally it's like this. Normally I'm like that. That's normally how it goes. But this, it's like a knife through butter. It's not a hot knife through butter, but it's nice. I like it. All right, it's so warm I'm not even going to waste our time. Probably put on stir. Ooh, not that fast. Just going to keep throwing in little bits. Technically, I think you're not supposed to put the cocoa in when I did, which is why we're getting all this steaming here, if you can't tell. I think that's technically not something you want, but I'm just making them for me. I'm not telling you how to make the perfect brownies or how to properly make brownies. We're just making brownies together. I will have to cut this once it's done mixing, because you're not going to want to be here for this whole mixing process. Maybe I'll change the camera so you can see what I'm up to. Maybe that's what I'll do. That's it. I'm coming over there. We're changing camera angles. Can you see it? I mean, you guys know how it ends up looking anyways, but we're going to let you see it. Ta-da! Look at that. Fancy. Actually, I'll just hold it like this while we get to work. Don't actually have that much more to do here. I occasionally will scrape the sides just to make sure everything ends up working out pretty well. However, I have noticed if you put the cocoa in first, it sticks to the side and you get less cocoa-y brownies because it's all stuck to the side. So I'd recommend putting the cocoa in not first, but apparently not last based on how smoky it was getting. Not like, you know, a bear's going to be showing up, but, you know, still pretty smoky. Get it? You get it. You know Smokey the Bear. Okay. There we go. We're just going to let that mix for a while, essentially until the butter mixes in. And I don't even think it matters, because it's all just going to heat up and turn into a mass anyways, right? Okay. Okay. And while that's mixing, what we are going to do is get out essentially a baking pan here. This is honestly probably the most difficult part. Normally this is pretty tricky, but I actually know this will come out easy because I already took it out once. Guess who had bad framing? Remember when I zoomed in to show you how this looked? Yeah, I forgot to zoom back out, so I ended up ruining kind of a lot of audio or video. But essentially I got this all wiped down with butter. I used like less than a tablespoon, and then like I said, save that little wax paper from the butter. Technically, you could use one of these and wipe it around. It's just, I feel like paper towel ends up getting more butter on it than the actual dish. So I don't use the paper towel. I just use that to protect all the pans from getting butter on the bottom, in case you're curious. Other than that, we're just about done with the mixture here. I mean, technically, we could probably, you know, swirl it around a little bit with a spoon, but I'm not going to make this video take all day. So we aren't going to do that. Let me move this back. Okay. So what we are going to do here is I'm just going to go grab a spatula. We're just going to get this out. Oh, don't forget to start your oven sooner than me. This is happening now, sorry. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't sound too loud. I'll have to listen to it. The temp you want is going to be 350. Hopefully that's also introductory thing. Well, I never got my spatula I said I wanted. It's because I remembered something else I forgot that was technically even more important. Okay. Hi. Now, just get this out. I can definitely see clumps of butter and stuff. In all honesty, I don't know how I don't know if mixing it longer makes them taste better or not, or worse. Like, I honestly don't know what over mixing brownies is like. I know what under mixing them is like, and it turns out brownie enough that you honestly don't have to worry. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. Unless you're going for perfection. And then you're probably not going to want to be at this channel if you're going for perfection. Okay, this is more for how to deal with imperfection. Just fine. Hey, don't get me wrong. I love it. I love it. I just have to do multiple tests. That's what I figured out. I have to do multiple tests. And I have to not get upset when it comes out badly, because that's just what happens. I'm not the person who can watch a video and then be like, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing. I have to watch a video, go, oh, okay, I'll copy them. And then it turns out horrible, and I go, oh, I give up. And then at some point I had to stop giving up, and I'm like, I'll just do multiple I'll figure it out. I'll just figure it out myself. And it's been working out great since then. Brownies, no problem. You guys can handle brownies. Like, I recommend you start with brownies. Give you some confidence, and then work your way up to something else. Peanut brittle is pretty difficult, but I still think getting fudge right would be more difficult than peanut brittle. But just stick with brownie. Make stuff you want. I don't know. I just like being able to make everything. So I'll practice here, practice there. All right. I think technically if you want to, you can put a little baking powder in here and it'll raise your brownies a little higher, but I'm not doing that. I'm doing all natural brownies, which is kind of traditional. I mean, it's not untraditional to add the other thing. I'm just saying, like, you know, this is more of a, you got all the ingredients on hand. Not saying people don't have baking soda on hand. I'm assuming lots of people do. Okay. I'm just saying you don't have to worry about it. Okay. I'm sorry. I want to get as much of this out of here as possible. It's not even that much. And I'm just going to eat it later anyway. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's brownies or before brownies. Okay. Guess I should have probably held it like this so you could have seen it more the whole time. You know, if it's not one thing, it's another. So, just so you know, if you want, you can like pat it out and like do something fancy like this. However, if you do this, it's going to make some weird ripples in it, which I don't think are necessarily bad or good or whatever, but it is kind of interesting seeing the rippling effect from the top of the brownie. Reminds me of like magma, how it like cools and whatnot. It almost seems kind of similar to that. Like, nowhere really that close, but kind of like a little bit. Like, I can use my imagination and believe that it's pretty close. Okay. Other than that, we'll be back once the brownies are I don't know. I might. It's up to me to figure out. You'll see something. All right. Well, I don't know if I'm going to use this shot or not, but now we're just putting the brownies in. Like I said, depending on what size baking pan you're using, the amount of time you cook it for changes. Obviously. I like to go like a half an hour just starting out, just to make sure, you know, nothing's wrong. Like, I bet we're going to be able to go to 45, no problem. Not to mention overcooking I guess I should be in scene, shouldn't I? Overcooking brownies isn't that bad, and it's not really that big of a problem. But depending on the baking sheet you're using, you're going to be cooking it for different lengths of time. Obviously, if it's thinner, it's going to cook faster because it's got that hot heat from the top and the bottom. But if you've got that chunky one, then how's it supposed to heat up in the middle without literal time? So there you have it. I'm just using a 9x13. And, I mean, yeah. Yeah. All right. We'll be back later just to finish everything up. Okay. And as you can see, brownies are pretty much done. Technically, you can cook them for longer. I don't know if you noticed, but like right here on the edge, this little piece was technically above the rest of the brownie. However, now that little piece is about the same level as the center of the brownies. So we know it's raising up. You can actually see it cracking here too. So, yeah, technically you could go a little more if you wanted to, but we're pulling them out early because we've got somebody making dinner here, so we got to get out of here. But yeah, no, it's pretty good. We'll come back once they cool. It'll probably be later tonight. But yeah, we'll come back once they're all cooled down. Probably delicious while they're warm, though. I'm gonna have to cut these so you can see it here. I've got I didn't eat these, by the way. We're gonna have a fresh taste here on camera, but they must have been pretty good if people are already starting to eat them. Oh, well, that's not straight. Normally I just use a butter knife, but I guess they got fancy using this professional one here. I should probably use a fork for this to try and get under it, but yeah, that's my fault. I'm gonna go get a fork. Okay. Much better. And I think the camera angle's right around here, so let me see if I can kind of show you what we're getting here. Just at least on the edges and everything. Hold on. It's going to be a little shaky. Sorry, there's literally like no good ground here. Let's see. So there we go. You can see it a little better. I think they came out pretty good. Definitely still a little wet, which I mean I'd prefer. But yeah, so it's looking pretty good. I like it. Edges not too dry here. You can see on the corner, you can definitely see it's starting to dry. You can feel how hard it is versus these other ones. Don't worry, I'll eat all these. I won't make other people eat them. But yeah, no, it seems pretty good. Okay, well, we'll try it now, but I don't want to be zoomed in for that. I had it too far zoomed in for most of the other video. Should I sit down? Oh, you know, I don't think I'm low enough. I'm just going to kneel. There we go. Anyways, but what was I saying? I had too far zoomed in for part of the video. I might do it as an ending part. You can definitely tell we use less sugar, which I really like. I feel like a brownie that isn't too sweet you want to keep coming back for. Plus, it makes milk way more enjoyable. So yeah, I'd say these are pretty good. Maybe they need to cook for like 5-10 more minutes. Could cook them way more if you wanted to. Like, you'd probably still be safe for another like 20-30 minutes, but I'd say these are probably pretty good. I might say just a little more. It's nice and creamy, but I wouldn't mind if they were just a little more bread-like. Of course, these are the middle ones. Maybe the edge one tastes better. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, I think definitely another 10-20 minutes. So, too early. Not the best, but I still think they're really good. These are still somebody's favorite brownies. Anyways, thanks for joining me. We'll see what I come up with next. I think I'm going to do pudding, by the way. I'll probably be doing that tonight, actually. All right, have a good one.